Mrs. Stemley here. I noticed that many of our read alouds that we've been doing have been picture books that maybe are geared more towards younger students. And so I decided to choose some short stories from some of my favorite books that I used to read to my fifth graders, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, and Scary Stories to Read When It's Dark. So parents, use your best judgment when deciding if your little one should hear this read aloud. So pay no attention to the scarf I'm wearing. It's really not important. The first one I'm going to read to you is called The Big Toe. A boy was digging at the edge of a garden when he saw a big toe. He tried to pick it up, but it was stuck to something. So he gave it a good hard jerk, and it came off in his hand. Then he heard something groan and scamper away. The boy took the toe into the kitchen and showed it to his mother. "It looks nice and plump," she said. "I'll put it in the soup and we'll have it for supper." That night, his father carved the toe into 3 pieces, and they each had a piece. Then they did the dishes, and when it got dark, they went to bed. The boy fell asleep almost at once, but in the middle of the night, a sound awakened him. It was something out in the street. It was a voice, and it was calling to him. "Where's my toe?" it groaned. When the boy heard it, he got very scared, but he thought, "It doesn't know where I am. It'll never find me." Then he heard the voice once more, only now it was closer. "Where's my toe?" it groaned. The boy pulled the blankets over his head and closed his eyes. "I'll go to sleep," he thought, "and when I wake up, it'll be gone." But soon he heard the back door open, and again he heard the voice. "Where's my toe?" it groaned. Then the boy heard footsteps move through the kitchen, into the dining room, into the living room, and into the front hall. Then slowly they climbed the stairs. Closer and closer they came. Soon they were in the upstairs hall. Now they were outside his door. "Where's my toe?" it groaned. His door opened. Shaking with fear, he listened as the footsteps slowly moved through the dark toward his bed. Then they stopped. "Where's my toe?" the voice groaned. "You've got it!" Again, these are scary stories to tell in the dark. They're a lot of fun, and there's quite a few versions of these. So if that's a book if that's a story you enjoyed, you might want to check these books out. Let me read another one to you. The Viper. A widow lived alone on the top floor of an apartment house, and one morning her telephone rang. Bring! "Hello?" she said. "This is the Viper," a man said. "I'm coming up." Somebody is fooling around, she thought, and she hung up the phone. A half an hour later, the telephone rang again, and it was the same man. "It's the Viper," he said. "I'll be up soon." The widow didn't know what to think, but she was getting frightened. Once more, the telephone rang. Bring! "Hello?" she answered. Again, "It was the Viper. I'm coming up now," he said. She quickly called the police, and they said they would be right over. When the doorbell rang, she sighed with relief. They're here, she thought. But when she opened the door, there stood an old man with a bucket and a cloth. I'm the viper, he said, and I've come to wash your windows. Get it, guys? It's a good one. All right, I'll read one more out of this scary storybook. The Green Ribbon. Once there was a girl named Jenny. She was like all the other girls except for one thing. She always wore a green ribbon around her neck. There was a boy named Alfred in her class, and Alfred loved Jenny, and Jenny loved Alfred. And one day he asked her, "Why do you wear that ribbon all the time?" "I can't tell you," said Jenny. But Alfred kept asking, "Why do you wear it?" And Jenny would say, "It's not important." Jenny and Alfred grew up and fell in love, and one day they got married. And after the wedding, Alfred said, "Now that we're married, you must tell me about this green ribbon." "You still must wait," Jenny said. "I will tell you when the right time comes." Years passed, and Alfred and Jenny grew old. One day, Jenny became very sick, and the doctors told her she was dying. Jenny called Alfred to her side. "Alfred," she said, "now I can tell you about the green ribbon. Untie it, and you will see why I could not tell you before now." Slowly and carefully, Alfred untied the ribbon, and Jenny's head fell off. I'll leave mine on.